Jake is in pain, and they don't even realize it. All right, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushua, Bahashim Rukakwadash. I want to give double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakaria, from the GMS Orlando camp, coming at you with another impromptu lesson. As you see from the title of tonight's lesson, Jake is in pain, and they don't even realize it. All right, and tonight's lesson comes off the behest of something I was reading earlier today, going into self-destructive adaptation, all right, which is the tendency to normalize pain or to normalize trauma. All right, and when you look at the communities and the culture of so-called Negroes, so-called Latinos, and so-called Native American Indians, that's exactly what it is. All right, our people have created cultures that are based off of the trauma that we've experienced under the hand of our enemies, chiefly the hand of Esau Edom, the so-called white man. And the fact stands that the majority of our people to this day are still unable to realize that they are in pain. Being in every corner of the city, in every state, in every country that you go to is pain. Being a proverb and a byword amongst these nations is pain. Subject to the curses of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, from the 16th verse on down, is pain. The merciless killings that go on within our communities for nothing is pain. The hood mentality, that thug culture, that bad bitch culture, that's pain, man. Eating beanies and weenies because you don't got nothing else to eat, ramen noodles every day of the week, that's pain. But the majority of our people are still unable to identify that as pain. Rather, they identify that as a come up or normal. They identify our situation in this earth as normal, which is why the Lord has to come and not only cut off Esau Edom, but cut off the majority of our people. Because even though a better way is being presented to them through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, they refuse it. A better mentality is being presented through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai, a better manner of conduct, a better standard, a better culture. All through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai is being presented by this word, by this truth. All right, chiefly from the men that are on the highways and byways week in and week out, starting with our elders, apostles, and Great Millstone on down. That better way of life, all right, is being presented, which is essentially repentance. The hand of repentance, the hand of mercy being extended, is that better way of life being presented to our people. But like it says in Romans the 10th chapter, they let me get it instead of quoting it. The Lord said, all day long have I stretched forth my hand unto a gainsaying and disobedient people. This is Romans the 10th chapter. And verse 21. It says, but to Israel he saith, all day long I have stretched forth my hands unto a disobedient and gainsaying people. All right, and the Lord stretched forth his hands all day long. All right, through way of his prophets all day long. All right, the videos going up 24/7. All right, every weekend the prophets are out in the highways and byways for an enzyme, for a physical sign. You have the word going out in every language, in every country, all times of the day. The Lord's hand is stretched out all day long to a disobedient and gainsaying people who pull away the shoulder, even though this better way of life is being presented to them. They're so far down this rabbit hole that they've normalized pain. They've normalized trauma to the point where any better way seems as if it's a farce, or seems as if it's too good to be true. And the scriptures say this, about sickness, right? This is Sirach 30, or Ecclesiastes 30:17. Death is better than a bitter life or continual sickness. And the reason why it says this is because when you're continually sick, take someone that's terminally ill. What life is that? You're constantly in and out of hospitals. You're constantly in and out of therapy. You're constantly in and out of treatments. You're constantly having to be taken care of. You really can't enjoy life. You can't enjoy, the fruit of your labor. You can't enjoy the Lord's work. What life is that? Death is better than continual sickness or a bitter life. And for the majority of our people, 2/3 of our people, they're living a bitter life here in America, which ironically means bitter land. They're living a bitter and sick life. A bitter and sick way of life that they've learned to normalize. They've adapted to, which is why the Lord has to come and cut them off. This is Jeremiah 2, verse 21. Yet I had planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? All right, and the Lord planted a noble vine. All right, and as we speak, that noble vine is being raised up as we speak. All right, and we're gonna grab something to substantiate that as well. All right, but it says this again: Yet I planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed. How then art thou turned into a degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me? How? It's by the workings of the enemy, chiefly by the workings of our disobedience. We find ourselves in this position. All right. But the further our affliction, all right, we find ourselves in this position through the negligence of the enemy, man, through the wickedness of the enemy, man. I couldn't find the word. Lord willing, you understand what I'm trying to say. But we find ourselves in this position because of the enemy. Esau Edom chiefly, the so-called white man. He's helped to turn the noble vine that the Lord has planted into a degenerate plant. Now, and I speak about it a lot, but it's it's a topic that I'm into, man. It's now you have this culture of bad bitches. You have this culture of sexual deprivation to where the men of our nation are sexual fiends. They're freaks. Turn the warriors of the men of our nation who were once warriors into sexual deviants, effeminate. The relationships with the relationship dynamic within our nation is completely shot. It's done. The family structure is done. The nucleus has been taken away. Like the scriptures say in Matthew, I believe, the 13th chapter. In order to overtake a house, you must first bind a strong man. And that's exactly what Esau Edom has done through the prison system, through welfare, all right, through rap, gangster rap, and many other systems that have been set in place. All these things have helped to turn the noble vine that the Lord has planted into that degenerate plant. Men who glorify killings, who glorify spending on their ops, who 9 or 10 times out of 10 are people that look like them, that come from the same nation as them. This superfluous, materialistic culture that our people have adapted to, where the substance of a man is predicated off of how much things you have, how many women you're able to command, how many shoes you have, how big your house is, what kind of car you sliding in, what clothes you wearing. All this, all right, is a part or plays a part in that noble vine, or that noble vine being turned into that degenerate plant. But now through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that noble vine is being raised up once again. All right, this is Isaiah 44, And verse 3, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty. All right. And we were thirsty at one point in time. All right. Because we all dwell in the valley of the shadow. Not the valley of the shadow of death. Yes. Pursuing Psalms 23. But pursuing Ezekiel, the 37th chapter. All right. We all dwelt in the valley of dry bones. All right. Waiting for the Lord to breathe that breath of life upon us. All right. To give us the sinews back. All right. To give us our flesh back. And to chiefly give us our life back. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. It says, for I will pour water upon him that is thirsty. And what is the waters? The waters of truth. Pursuant to John 7:38. All right, the rivers of living water. Those waters have been poured upon us and floods upon the dry ground. I will pour my spirit upon thy seed and my blessing upon thine offspring. And they shall spring up as among the grass, as willows by the watercourses. And that's what the elect is doing as we speak. Lord willing, we're a part of that number. All right, springing up amongst the grass as willows by the watercourses around the four corners of the globe, in every state, in every country. All right, springing up, doing what? One shall say, I am the Lord's, and another shall call himself by the name of Jacob, and another shall subscribe with his hand unto the Lord, and surname himself by the name of Israel. All right, and as the elect, all right, that noble vine is springing up as the willows by the watercourses. This is what they're doing. All right, calling on the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, proclaiming the name of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, proclaiming the prophecies. All right, giving the testimony of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, laying out the will of the Lord, giving the true mindset of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. You know, doing the work, edifying the body. Surnaming themselves by the name of Israel, subscribing to the Lord, calling themselves by the name of Yaquab, Jacob. It's exactly what's happening in our time. All right, and this is the Lord pouring that healing ointment upon our wounds, essentially. Because like it says in Isaiah, the 1st chapter, the whole head was sick. All right. But we received that spiritual Tylenol, man. Or rather, fuck that Tylenol, that chemical shit. We received the spiritual holistic cure to our pain, man. All right, to our sickness. This is Isaiah chapter 1. And I'm going to start at verse 5. I'm going to get to the point. It says, why shall ye be stricken any more? Ye revolt more and more. The whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. And when you have the head sick, all right, the head is the central place. All right, the head is where, your brain fires off the different instructions to your nerves, to instruct your body. All right, the brain, the head is the central point. All right, going into our leaders. It says the whole head is sick and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it. And if the head is sick, the whole body is sick. The whole body is affected. And the whole body, the whole nation of Israel has been affected. Chiefly due to our disobedience and on our part. Our leaders lacked. Our judges lacked. All right. They didn't give proper judgment in the gates. They took bribes. They forsook the Lord's judgment at one point in time. And that's why we find ourselves in captivity. That's why we find ourselves sick. Calling ourselves by another man's name, wearing jeans and 3-piece suits. Speaking the King's English. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there's no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. All right, and those wounds and bruises and putrefying sores, really, just look at the community. just look at Jake, man. Those are the wounds. Those are the bruises. Look at the way Jake lives on a day-to-day basis. You know what it's like. I ain't got to really explain it to you. You know what it's like. That's a bruised way of life. It says they have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate. Your cities are burned with fire. Your land, strangers devour it in your presence. And it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in the vineyard, as a lodge in the garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. But what? This is the hope, all right, that we have. This is a part of the gospel. Verse 9. Except the Lord of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. All right, and except the Lord left that remnant, all right, the elect, all right, we would have been completely overthrown. But the Lord had predestined, all right, for an elect 1/3 of the nation of Israel, along with the 144,000, the governing body, all right, to receive that healing ointment, all right, in this time of disparity, man. He's allotted for the elect to receive this healing ointment and to spread it amongst the nation for those who will receive it. And as it's being spread, the elect are taking it on. They're putting it on. They're healing themselves spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically. And they're springing up as those willows amongst the watercourses, like it says in Isaiah 44. And eventually, all right, the Lord is going to pour that healing ointment upon all of our nation, and all of our nation is going to receive it and be healed. But right now, it's for the remnant. All right, the rest are going to vehemently refuse the ointment. I'm good. I don't need nothing. I'm straight. The majority of our nation is going to continue to do that until the Lord comes and cuts them off. Which, at this point, is the only remedy. Because they refuse to see that they're in pain. They refuse to acknowledge that they're in pain and they're in need of a physician. All right, and that physician, which is Yahweh Shai, is coming to cut off this long disease, man. It's a Sirach or Ecclesiastes 10:10. The physician cutteth off a long disease, and he that is today a king, tomorrow shall die. All right, and the king that is currently in place has facilitated this disease. He's promoted this disease. He's manufactured the disease. He's mass-produced the disease. But what? The physician, who is who? Yahweh Shai, is coming to cut off this long disease, which is Esau, Edom, and 2/3 of our people. And once that disease is cut off, it's not going to enter back into the body, because the Lord is going to write the laws in our hearts that we don't go off anymore. Therefore, eliminating sin, eliminating death, eliminating captivity. But with that being said, that's all I had to say tonight. Lord willing, this is edifying to you elect. Shalom. Stay up.